Let's hear if your expedition team is going to make their way up to the stage. Here they come.
So here we are in northwest Iceland. Iceland famous, one of the things it's famous for, seabirds. Many seabird cliffs around Iceland. We have one of the most important ones here behind me, Latrabjarg. There's guillemots, there's razorbills, there's Brunnick's guillemots, there's fulmars, there's kittiwakes, there's puffins. Fantastic place, and we're enjoying it in superb weather. The sun's shining, the sea's calm. We can even watch the guillemots, the orcs, diving underwater off the side of the ship. A real treat to be here, even though we're so far out due to regulations. Still a magical place to be.
Welcome folks. Your first landing, Danyandia, right over there, quite close by, as you can see, not a far walk.
The expedition has started in full, and we've come here to the spectacular Dinjani waterfall system. You can see this beautiful cascade down all the way through the hill, carving its way to the waterside here. When we come on our way, plenty of water birds. We've got the golden plover, we've got the ringed plover, oyster catcher, red shank, and of course those beautiful little Arctic terns that were greeting us on the way in. A really spectacular and picturesque start for our expedition here.
Welcome to Íslands. We are here on Vigur Island in Ísafjarðardjúp fjord. It's amazing to look around here. There's so many seals. There's more black guillemots than I could ever imagined. Eider ducks are everywhere, and we're looking at a very exciting morning ahead. The company of descendants of Icelandic fishermen, and to learn about all the rich heritage that accompanies this island.
in Siglufjord in northern Iceland, which in the early 20th century was famous for the herring fishing industry. The herring was fished in the fjords just outside and then brought in, unloaded, and processed, salted, turned into meal, and into fish oil. In 1968, the herring fishing industry collapsed, the fish disappeared, and the town fell into bad times. But there's been a resurgence since then, as the town has attracted quite a lot of tourism, in large part due to this herring fishing museum that we're at today. The museum includes boats that were used in the fishing industry, all of the tools that would have been used, and even preserved some of the living quarters of the people who worked here, especially herring girls, the women who would work long, long hours, who would sing and dance as they processed the herring and packed it into barrels to be shipped all over the world.
How lucky are we to get ashore in this fantastic place? So many times people come here and you can't make it because of the fog. We've been here, we've seen the base of the mountain, not quite the top of the mountain, but we can see all the way down the beach here, right up to the cliff sides. We've had birds wheeling around, there's flocks of little auks living up on the tops here. We can hear the ringing call as they come into the landing sites up here. Lots of fulmars, we've seen lots of fulmars before, but we've seen lots of fulmars here. And then if you look around this landscape, all this timber, where did that come from? How amazing. It's like a little taste of Svalbard. We're getting into a landscape now with no trees and tiny, tiny plants, so you have to look really closely. I've seen lots of flowers this morning. We've got moss campion, we've even got a Svalbard poppy here. The flower's only around about this big, but you have to look really closely. But the fog's rolling in now, the ship has disappeared. I'm not sure what else we might see today, but it's already been a really exciting day and a fabulous landing.
So here we are in Jan Mayen, and we've come across a very fortunate scenario. We have an Arctic skua. So this is one of the main predators we get here up in Svalbard, and it's known as a kleptoparasitic predator. So what it's doing, it's chasing out the fulmars, it's chasing out the guillemots, the little auks as they're flying around, and they're harassing them until they're dropping their fish, they're dropping that food, and the skuas come in, they take full advantage of that. They'll also take a chick, they'll take an egg, and we've been very fortunate to see a nest changeover. And that's when the male or female, whoever's been on the nest already, they've gone off to hunt and the partners come in to take over the incubation duties of the eggs. It's a very interesting, very good spot here in Jan Mayen.
We are here at a site called New London, and back in the 1910s and 1920s, this was a site which rivaled the commercial importance of coal mining here on Svalbard. The Northern Exploration Company came up here from the United Kingdom, and they started prospecting for pretty much anything they can find. And here they thought they had found one of the biggest, most valuable marble quarries in the world. Unfortunately for them, this marble here is very, very ancient. We're looking at about 1 billion years in age, and it's been covered for the last million years or so entirely in glaciers. All of the rock on this whole island, deep down, is full of frost, and the marble, when they exported it, was virtually worthless. It shattered when they tried to do anything with it because of the frost. So the Northern Exploration Company, unfortunately, was a spectacular failure, and they left behind this little village here, so-called New London in Norwegian, along with the largest collection of pre-World War I industrial artifacts on Svalbard.
Welcome to the Arctic oasis that is this lovely hanging garden. This poo waterfall comes all the way down from these seabirds. They're coming backwards and forwards, regular conveyor belt of food. That lovely nutrient makes a lovely green hillside. Look at all those reindeer enjoying it. Lots of geese coming in there to enjoy it as well. And then we get a lovely garden cliff at the bottom for us to enjoy too.
we are, north of Svalbard. We are just at the ice age where ice goes farther north to the Arctic, to the North Pole, and we just had that amazing encounter with the polar bears. We had 3 polar bears in one kill, which is really rare to see. We had a mother with 2 almost grown cubs, and they were around, and we had really the chance to watch them. The cubs of the polar bears usually stay like 3 years with the mother, depending a little bit how fast they learn. They have everything they need for life. They have to learn from their mother. And the mother did a good job. Both kids are looking really good. They look fat, and I'm sure they will survive the summer, and the mother will be ready next year to mate again and do the circle once again. The male already disappeared over the ice and goes for another story in another family, but we just enjoyed really unbelievable polar bears, 3 in one slide. We just got to say, I haven't seen in my career so often.
Here we are at Pinton, and we are incredibly fortunate to be able to get so close to this herd of walrus here. We're not sure exactly how many hold out here on the beach, but we estimate somewhere between 60 and 80 individuals, and this is what looks to be an entirely male group of walrus hauled out. So it is typical of all 3 subspecies of walrus to be segregated between the sexes. Usually you'll have a group of males all hauled out together, and then the females and the calves will be off in a separate group. So we do have quite a wide range of ages here in amongst them, and we can tell that by their size and also the size of their tusks. You'll see a couple of them will have patches of pink or bright pink skin, and these guys are actually molting at the moment, so getting rid of their winter skin, winter coat, and that's why they're all huddled up together like that, nice and tightly as well. Just by sort of moving around and rubbing against each other, it's helping to get rid of that old skin and helping to itch those scratch those itchy areas that they have all over their bodies.